Hey there, guys. We're just gonna wait a couple more moments to let everyone kind of get on this page. But those of you who are watching right now, thank you for coming and signing in during this very intense, energetic time that we are experiencing for the last week. So I thank you for taking the time out. It's really important that we raise our consciousness as high as we can get it, so that at least whatever's going on in your world, if you're being affected emotionally by what's going on, you can kind of rise above that, rise above the emotion, so that you can feel more peace in yourself in this moment. So it's about 1 minute to 4. We're going to just give it probably like 4:01, 4:02. So just 2 more minutes. We should be ready to roll. For today, the meditation is going to be focused on Zen or Zazen Meditation. This is what I had planned to do. A part of me is like, screw it, let's just, we just need to relax because of what is happening today. But we'll definitely stick with the Zazen style. It'll be nice to learn something, right? Instead of kind of venting out our feelings about what is going on. Those of you who know, or those of you who do not know, I am broadcasting from downtown Los Angeles, and I can tell you firsthand, it is scary down here, what is happening. Fortunately, the National Guard is on most corners. Another protest just began a couple blocks away. Every night here in downtown Los Angeles, there have been protests. They start out peacefully, but very quickly into the protest, it seems infiltrators come in. I've seen this with my eyes. Masked white men, and they start to wreak havoc. So whether you believe it or not, that's what's happening. I'm not sure who these kind of dark figures are associated with, but all I can tell you is I've seen firsthand that protesters have been trying to get them to stop the violence. So we have that going on, and we have the looting, which is similar. They come kind of in later at night. Their cars pull up in front of specific stores, and then they loot it and get back in their cars. So is that connected to this Black Lives Matter contingency? I don't believe so. It's kind of like a separate thing that is going on. And I'm not saying that the protests aren't also getting agitated, because that is absolutely happening. But unfortunately, it's getting out of control. And we're going to talk about that today a little bit, and what you can do spiritually to help in this time of unrest. If you are in a city that's experiencing these types of protests, I advise you to sit back, kind of go from afar if you want to protest, but leave early. It seems like things are getting a little crazier at night. For 3 days straight, there's been nothing but like helicopters and fire engines and cop cars, just all night, all into the morning. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, Los Angeles needs peace right now. It's kind of like the Rodney King Part 2. And so this is very dear and near to the city of Los Angeles. And people are coming out and protesting their rights. And a part of me is saying, no, not a part of me. I'm saying, finally, in order to find rest, we need unrest. In order to find freedom, we need war, right? In order to find peace, we need chaos. Why? Because the idea of freedom was born out of oppression. So without oppression or restraint, there wouldn't be freedom. We wouldn't need freedom. We would all be free, and we wouldn't even have a term for freedom. So to understand what's happening, in order to find rest, the entire world has to go into an unrest. In order to meet Aquarius, the entire world has to go into a state of hell, to be quite honest with you. But please, 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 don't misjudge the protest for equal rights right now, which is the biggest equal rights movement we have ever seen. Please don't align that with all of this other stuff that's going on. There's so many conspiracies already kind of coming up about this, and I live in an area where their protests have been every day, literally outside my window. Our building has been broken into. Stores are completely trashed, looted, nothing left. You know, it's pretty intense here. So, you know, we're on a lockdown. So I'm seeing a lot of this firsthand, and I have friends in downtown Los Angeles who are taking videos, seeing this firsthand, and there's something not quite right about what's going on. So I ask that you kind of continue to support the movement and know that the violence has nothing to do with the Black Lives Matter movement. It was supposed to be peaceful. And where there is peace, there's going to be unrest, because people do not want peace. The people who live in unrest will try to continue to exploit, right? Until we all come together as one and create a unified force where agape love and altruism is the key ingredient to making this world a better place. Until that happens consciously, we are going to see this. But we have to go into an unconscious place or a suppressed place and reveal the truth of what's going on underneath it all. And when that happens, we receive more information. Everything that's going on now has been going on for decades and decades and decades. It is nothing new. It's just, it's being videotaped, it's being captured now, and you can't look the other way, although people are. I urge everyone, do not look the other way. Do what you can in order to contribute to the greatest and highest good for the entire world. And that might just be sitting at home and meditating on peace. And I feel that is a beautiful action to take when you feel stuck or you feel, well, there's nothing you can do. I'm not going to run outside my house and protest and get pepper sprayed in my eyes, which is happening. You know, I'm going to keep myself safe. But what can I do when I hear the riots outside? What can I do? How can I contribute to that in some way? And the way that I see we can contribute is through peace and love and thoughtful meditation. And so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to give it some time to get a couple more people on here, because I know people are still joining, and I want to give everyone an opportunity to get on here. For those of you who are here, thank you. And let me know if you hear me, just by giving me a heart or something, because sometimes I don't know if, you know, I'm being heard. So it would be nice if I know. Just give me a couple hearts or something so I know that you're hearing me. Awesome, thank you. And if you want to share this with friends, you can go ahead. Maybe they want to join in the meditation. That'd be helpful for me. So I'm the owner of Bene Mudra Wellness, and I just want to let you guys know that we are offering free donation-only classes. They're all on Zoom, and right now we have about 7 classes a week. So it's really nice. We have amazing teachers and spiritual healers that are here to help you and guide you through everything that's going on, whether it's through a tarot reading or astrology or the chakras or yoga or meditation, whatever the case may be. We are all here to help enlighten you. And that's why I decided I'm going to use my business in this moment to offer free courses and classes to people, because they need it. You need it. I need it. You know what I mean? It's a necessity now. It's a necessity now. And I will say this. A lot of spiritual businesses are kind of aligning with this, but some aren't. And I'm an advocate as well as a healer and a teacher, and I don't think it's right to be silenced. I have a lot of people that said to me, James, you know, your posts are very pointed. You might lose clients, you might lose guests, you might lose blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and for me, I'm like, you know, I don't know what to say about that. You know, this is who I am. A lot of the spiritual community is silent during this time. But this is when they need to speak up. This is when we need to take a stand. There's so much happening in the world right now. We need to take a stand. Who do we look up to? We can't look up to our world leaders in this moment. So for me, I look at my spiritual teachers. I look to my masters, right? I look to the masters of the past. I look to God, or I look to my higher power. I'm getting all my answers through meditation because there's nowhere else to go, right? So spiritual leaders need to step up to the plate at this moment and be a source and be a source of strength and a platform for people in the spiritual community, because there's a lot of BS going around and there's a lot of spiritual bypassing going around with these people. And if I can be that person for you to step in front of those people, I will, and I will risk whatever I have to risk to do that. I've lost 2 best friends because of this, that I've been friends with for a lifetime. And I say, so be it. If God needs to use me as a voice, then I will allow anything to drop out of my life in order to make that happen. And I kid you not. So I try to come live as much as I can to give you my feedback and answer any types of spiritually based questions about what is going on in the world right now. I'm not going to go into more of the political things in this moment because I think right now we just need to focus on peace and get what's happening in the world, this chaos, to just kind of slow down, right? And then I'll talk about politics, right? Because politics and religion actually go very hand in hand in my eyes. And when there's a world that is falling out of compassion, it's very important, especially because of political agenda, that spiritual people stand up to the plate. Jesus knocked over tables. He destroyed temples because he saw the injustice. And unfortunately, his name now is used for different things, but I like to think of that Jesus. The kind of like, I don't give a fuck kind of Jesus. The one that's like, nope, I'm going to point it out. And if you're not accountable, then that's your fault, right? But I'm going to speak the truth. And so, it might offend people. I see that 6 people left that left this live, and I say, okay, they're not ready to hear it. I will speak to those who are ready to hear it. If you are dodging the truth and you are living in delusion, you are not living. Okay, you are not living. You're not corrected. If you want to correct yourself, the truth will set you free. And today, with the Zazen meditation, it's kind of what we want to focus on. We want to get to your deepest truths. So Zazen or Zen meditation is a Buddhist practice, and it involves sitting in a Zazen pose or a Lotus pose or half Lotus. If you are an avid meditator and sitting in Lotus or even half Lotus is comfortable for you, then I'm going to say go ahead and do that, because taking the traditional pose could be worthwhile if you're used to doing that. If you are not used to it, today is not the time to try to learn a pose or posture. It's very tough on the back, and honestly, if you don't have those strong back muscles and you haven't built your back in that meditation, meaning you don't meditate often enough to build those back muscles to hold you in the alignment, you're most likely going to suffer through the meditation. And I don't want you guys to suffer. I don't want you to be fidgeting with your posture. So only if you can take that. But if not, you can sit in a chair. I think that's perfectly valid for this. So again, Zen meditation. What is the difference between Zen meditation and other meditations? The truth is nothing really. That's the truth. Most meditations and peaceful mindfulness meditations are taken from Buddhism, westernized. It's pretty much the same. Zen meditations focus on inner truth. So it is an inward meditation, because the Buddhists believe that, the Om Mani Padme Hum, which is the jewel, lives within the lotus. So meaning the jewel being God or enlightenment or the truth lives within us all. And the only way to connect to that truth is to go inward. So Zen meditation is truly the practice of going inward, to find the truth, trying to sit in compassion, and to filter what you're thinking. 2 ways to do Zen meditation. The first way is thought-based. So what a thought-based Zen meditation is very simple but very hard, I'll tell you, is simply sitting. You sit in the posture, and you allow whatever it is that needs to come up without judgment. And that's the important part. So you're going to look at yourselves tonight as non-judgmental beings, right? Judgment puts us in chains, and we chain ourselves enough. So you release the judgments that you place upon yourself, and we release the judgments that other people placed upon us that create our own judgments, right? It's like a judgment pie. We got to get rid of it all. And the Zazen Zen meditation is the road to that. It is the road to inner freedom. Find thyself. Find the truth within thyself. And the first aspect of that is watching your thoughts. So thought-based Zen meditation is sitting with your thoughts, seeing your thoughts as clouds, I would say, acknowledging them as they come in, noticing your thoughts, but then letting them go. You're not attached to them, but you acknowledge them. And that's like the tricky part. Let's say you're in Zen meditation and you're thinking, oh, this is long. This is very long. I don't know how much long I can sit here. You have to look at that thought without judgment, right? Say, wow, my subconscious is telling me not to sit here. Why? Right? So you're questioning everything that comes in, and then you're letting it go until you find that place of balance and peace, that center point. And then you sit and you just allow what is to be. And they believe, the Buddhists, that this is the root of deep spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental freedom. Freedom from the monkey mind, right? Anxiety, fear, all of that. And there's a lot of that going around now for pretty much the entire 2020. So we were holding a lot of this energy, and it doesn't do us any good. It's not going to do you any good. So we're going to let it go today. The second part of Zen is focusing on the breath. And we've done that a lot. This is the 10th class I've given. We've done a lot of breath awareness meditation. So this is really no different. The only difference is you keep it. So very easily is just a breathing into the count of whatever you're comfortable with, and then exhaling to the count of whatever you're comfortable with. The trick is you're focusing and feeling the inhale, and you're focusing and feeling the exhale. And that's your home base. You always have to go back to that. So when you have these thoughts that are leading you somewhere else, what you need to simply do is bring your awareness right back to the breath. So catch it, bring it back to the breath. And I think that's the one we're going to do today. Why I like this one, because you're still working on your thoughts, but you have an activity which is very somatic. So you're doing something to help alleviate your mind. You're not just sitting in it. So the only task you have today is always return to the breath. That's it. Return to your breath. There is no mantra. Technically, there's no music. This is done in silence, which could be, a tricky form. But when you meditate with music or a mantra, you can have a different experience. The music, because music is such a healing energy, can kind of bring you on a journey, maybe to a place of healing or daydream. And we really don't want to daydream. This is about being fully present, right? Buddhism is about being fully present and happy in each moment, and with the belief that suffering is optional, right? And through suffering, we find that peace, right? Through discomfort, we find comfort. The word comfortable would never have been created if someone or some group was not experiencing the opposite. God has two sides, so the opposite is also God. So I will just remind you guys that what is happening feels wrong, but in reality, it's getting us there. It's getting us there. So hold tight. It's like we're on a ride and it's getting scary. Relax, breathe. There's another side to this. I promise you, there's another side, and if you feel like you're already on the other side and you're already seeing this with love and compassion, then that's where I want you to live. That's where I want you to live. So the meditation today is going to be broken up into pieces because sitting in Zen meditation for 40 minutes is going to be really rough and you guys might feel like you're going insane. So I'm going to break it up. So I will be your time clock, okay? Please remember, this is a non-guided meditation, so I will be meditating with you, okay? With keeping my eye on the time. And we're gonna do it in 20-minute segments. So we might do 20-minute segments, 2 20-minute segments. And I'll see how we feel. If I feel or sense that 20 minutes is enough today, then I might cut it there. But you also could let me know. If we're done with 20 and you want to continue, we can do that as well. So it seems like we have 9 people joined. Hello, 9 people. 9's a nice number. It's a solid number. So let's get this show on the road. Okay. And before I say that, please join us tomorrow night with Faith for her chakra balancing class. It's on my website. It's a free donation-based class. You can register and get the link to that as well. All of our classes, except this one, are on Zoom. Okay, so they're all going to be Zoom classes, except this one. I keep this one on Facebook Live because I feel like anyone can benefit from meditation, and it would be nice if someone popped in and just could meditate off the cuff without having to go to Zoom. Okay, so let's get a posture going. And I'm sitting in a chair, and let me see if I can show you. I'm sitting in a chair, and I have, see, I'm actually in half lotus sitting on top of a chair, because I have to sit on a chair to do this. But you can do this on the floor. And half lotus is almost like Indian style seating. We'll just leave it out there. It's almost just cross-leg seating. It's a little more intense than that, but to be quite honest, I'm not on the floor to show you how to do it, so we're gonna let you just decide. But you're gonna keep your feet crossed. If you have a pillow, what you can do is a little trick, is you can place the pillow on the floor, and it needs to be a pretty sturdy pillow, like a meditation pillow. And you can kind of sit on the edge of it, right? Sit on the edge of that pillow so you feel your body kind of fall forward. And that actually helps your knees kind of hit the ground, and it gives you more stability. So that's just a little trick if you do want to meditate on the ground. You do have to keep your back very straight. So if you're on a chair, we really want to be careful of this. And I'm guilty of it. When I meditate, a lot of times I notice halfway through, I'm like looking up into nothing. We want to keep the head square. We don't want to raise it. If we do, we're closing off this energy. We don't want to close off your energy in your throat chakra, right? We don't. So when you see the Buddhists meditate, they're like in this army, perfect line. Chin is down, back is straight, shoulders are back. The tension in the back is released. The tension in your belly is released. And you know, they stay in that position without moving a muscle pretty much the entire time. And they meditate for hours on end. So if they can do it for an hour, we can do it for 20 minutes. So chins need to be placed down. So when you're meditating, if you notice this is happening, you don't want your the vertebrae in the back of your neck to get sore. Okay, so you do want to keep it straight. Keeping yourself straight, chin down, is going to keep everything in alignment. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but you are respecting the alignment of your body, so you shouldn't go out of whack, okay? And if during the meditation you need to move and readjust yourself, that's great. But I just ask, do it very mindfully. Slowly move your body into adjustment. Don't jerk your body. When you find that you're slouching, slowly pull your body back up, shoulders back, and back into alignment. And I do want you to practice that because having the proper alignment is important. It really and truly is. And it can actually strengthen your body to be able to sit in that posture without any problems, okay? So find your posture. Again, if you're sitting on a chair, sit on a chair. You can bring your legs up on the chair and cross them. I don't recommend sitting on the edge of a bed or anything that's not sturdy. You need some type of ground under you. And then if you just want to lie in your bed and listen, go for it, right? Your choice. So for Zen meditation, a lot of times we're here in this mantra, okay? It's just the tip of your thumb to the tip of the pointer finger, and I'm sure you've seen this posture, right? Very meditative posture. You see this everywhere. This mudra is very, very very common. And to me in this moment, this mudra means just we are all one world, one space, okay? So today we are going to use that mantra, and the fingers are just lightly touching. And when you place your fingers, when you place your tops of your hands on your knees, you will kind of see your back wants to go like this. We want to avoid that. We want to keep our posture. But you also might notice that your thumb might kind of just naturally, because of gravity, start pushing into your pointer finger. And you really don't have to hold it there. It should hold itself. You should be able to let go of all energy in your hand and notice that the posture is staying. And that's the feeling you want. That's the feeling you want. So let's close our eyes. and hand in mudra, chin down. I just want us first to feel our bodies. And when I say feel your body, I mean just be in it. And you can easily be in your body by placing attention on different body parts. So let's all place our attention on our shoulders and the back of our shoulders, feeling the energy there. And if you're like me, you might have a lot of tension there. So we want to slowly pull the shoulders back and down. And as you slowly pull the shoulders back and down, you might notice your back presses against the chair and your chin automatically comes into a better alignment. Your elbows should be off the ground, just kind of floating in midair, supported by your hands. So really relax that area. The elbows and the arms. Now move your thoughts to your lower back and feel the energy there. And again, if you're like me, if you're having anxiety or stress about what's going on, you might have tension there. I ask you in this moment just to help yourselves. Let's consciously release that tension in the back. And I can feel my back releasing, and I can feel the tension wanting to pull it back to where it was. But as my back is releasing, my shoulders are starting to crumble. So I have to keep now pushing my shoulders back. As you release the lower back, but you keep the posture. Now focus your awareness down on your hips and on your sits bones. Notice if you're pulling the sits bones up away from the back of the chair, right? This is a trick. A lot of people do this to find stability, but it's actually really bad for your spine. So you want to relax the hips and the sits bones also back and down. So releasing them back and feeling them drop. And watch your chin at this point. Our body is 25 to 50% more tense than we actually know because of our habits. Release all tension in your jaw, another hot spot. Now let's go and fill our bellies with a nice deep breath, breathing into the diaphragm and exhale out. Again, breathing in through your nose, keeping the posture, and exhaling through the mouth. And again, breathing in through the diaphragm. Deep breath and release. Hold that posture. Now let go of your breath. And just stop breathing in and out on your own. But as you do this, make sure the breath is low. You should have no movement in your shoulders when you breathe. There should be no movement in the heart or the chest when you breathe. The movement should be right in the solar plexus, directly in the diaphragm. That's the only place of the body that's moving. Everything else is relaxed, aligned, and perfect. And we're going to begin now our Zazen, and we're going to go for about 20 minutes. And remember, you're just focusing on the breath, feeling the inhalation, feeling the exhalation, and that is your benchmark. You always go back to there, no matter what happens. You have a crazy thought, accept it, push it away, come back to the breath. Your breath is saving you. It's your helper. So let's begin. Your exhalations, almost think that you are silently sighing out. And feel the breath on your teeth. Feel the breath moving past your lips. Notice how that feels. When you inhale, notice the feeling of the breath moving through your nose and down into your lungs and into your diaphragm. Feeling what your belly is doing. And as you exhale, feel that breath coming out of the mouth and really be mindful of that. Pay attention. And then do the process again. Being conscious of every moment, of every step that the breath has to take in order for you to receive a full inhalation and a full exhalation. And if you're confused of where you should place your tongue, you could just press the tip of your tongue up to the roof of your mouth and just try to keep it there. That's a nice little place for it to hide. If you're finding yourself having trouble, and by trouble I mean you keep jumping off the breath to a thought, then maybe it will be helpful for you. While you're breathing in, just think, I am breathing in. And when you exhale, think, I am breathing out. And then try to hold that for as long as you can. So wherever you are in this moment within your meditation, still keeping that awareness, move your attention off the breath and focus your attention on your heart. And I want you all to bring the word love into your heart space. And make the word love be your new benchmark. And allow this love to change and grow and show itself to you in whichever way it needs to. Everyone's expression of love might be different. So allow the expression of love to tell you its story as you place it within your heart. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And now I want you to expand that feeling of love and compassion and let it flood into the world. Just let it cover everything. See it flowing through every person, every living thing. Every conflict. Maybe ask that Cupid and his arrow flows through these protests, piercing hearts, allowing them to open, allowing them to receive. We ask that violence is turned into compassion and hate into love and inequality into equality, and chains into freedom. And when you're done sending your compassion, I invite you to return to your breath and once again begin to feel the breath moving into the diaphragm and out and down through the lips. And if you're still holding on to the mudra, at this point you can turn your palms around, palm to knee. Still watching your posture. Slowly bring your hand in Anjali Mudra, which is prayer hands, and place your thumbs against your sternum. Still relaxing the shoulders. And in this moment, perhaps ask for whatever it is you wish to see in your life or the lives of those around you as we send a blessing. And in this moment, I thank each of you for being with me today. Not only do I thank you, I thank the beautiful light that lives within you. As that light within me bows to that light within you in gratitude. Be the peace if you want peace. Be the flame, be the fire. Be the change. Om Mane Padme Hum. The jewel is within the lotus, meaning the God is within your heart. And you don't need to go anywhere else to find him or her. She's right here. And so we bow to that energy in thanks as well. And we wiggle our toes. And we can begin to slowly come out of your posture. However you were sitting, you want to slowly come out. Don't jolt the body. Especially if you were sitting cross-legged, you really want to slowly move it. Slow movements. Then maybe stretch your ankles. Very nice. So you guys, as you start to come back, you all did a beautiful job today I felt your energy, and we were able to do about 30 minutes. So I felt like I should keep going. I felt maybe we were all in the groove there together. When I practice Zazen or practice Zen meditation, that's when I usually have the most in-depth inner experiences. And all you're doing is consciously feeling the breath. That's all you're doing. But that isn't all you're doing. You're unlocking what is behind it. And so instead of those anxious thoughts or worried thoughts or just random thoughts, you start to have these thoughts of peace and love, compassion. You start to connect with something bigger than what you're thinking. And it is important to do that and to continue to do that and know that even though there is unrest and there is suffering in this world and there is much suffering, that perhaps there is just something bigger guiding this whole thing. And for me, if you lose hope and faith, then you've lost it. We always have to be hopeful. You always have to connect to faith because there is something more grand happening. We just can't see that. This is the way to change. This is the way to equality, and not equality just for one group of people. It is equality for all. You have to understand these protesters are not fighting just for themselves. They're fighting for equality for everyone. They want to join in everyone's equality. And that's why Black Lives Matter. Other lives matter too, of course, but so does Black lives. And that's what they're saying. In order to find equality, we count. And all of you on here tonight who have ever suffered inequality or ever felt unequal or was discriminated against, and I can attest to that because I have been many times in my life. May the force be with you guys, and know that every time someone says something negative about you, that God is saying something positive. And who are you going to believe? The guy that lives on your street or God? I go with God. Anytime you are put down, God lifts you up. And God could be the eternal light, the creator. It could be the universe, whatever you want to call that energy. To me, I stick with God. It's easy, right? Non-religious based, doesn't matter what religion you are, right? Or who you pray to. That energy is going to lift you out of this. And if you believe that that energy is here to hurt you or to criminalize people or to make people unequal, then you are very much living in your own form of hell. And we want to rise out of that. And so practicing this simple Zen meditation really does help you rise out of that self-made hell that we are in. You know, metaphysics and other consciousness, higher conscious thinkers and philosophers believe that we're living in hell, that this might be it. Or that when we're angry or living in this kind of hateful space, that we are creating our own hell. And I believe that in some ways as well, because there can be peace on earth and it will begin with you, right? That song. So thank you guys for meditating with me tonight. I feel like you did a good job. Again, my name is James Bene. If you have any questions about what we did, you can always IM me and I can answer that for you. I will see you next Sunday, same time, same place. Next Sunday we're doing some more Zen, but we're adding in mantra. So if you're interested in meditating with mantra, and I did a little bit of that today, we're really going to be talking about that next week, next Sunday on Facebook Live. And the two mantras I'm going to talk about are the Om Namah Shivaya and the Om Mani Padme Hum, which you heard a little bit of that today. So if you're into mantra and you want to use mantra as meditation, because there's civil unrest right now, the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu is a great one. May all beings be happy and free. I wish you all peace and freedom, and stay safe. All right? See you guys.